That's interesting. Wow. I think I just spotted something there. Welcome back. Ukraine has chosen its song for Eurovision 2026 and it's Leléka Ridnym, which I think means two loved ones. I know you all skip this bit and go straight to the song, but I just want to add this bit in because I think it's important, because if you look at the results of Vidbir 2026, the songs with the highest votes ended up mid-table. And the two songs which were mid-table, if you were only to count the fans' votes, actually battled it out at the top, and look how close it was. So Eurovision can be like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. But anyway, Ukraine has chosen, and it always brings something that feels a little bit different, and I'm still expecting this to be atmospheric and emotional, because I've listened to the studio version, but this is obviously the live version, so I'm really curious to see where it goes musically and visually, especially with that note. You know which part I mean. So let's hit play.
Trust in the change. Everything fades, be that as it may.
Now already there is an intensity here, isn't there? That's a very breathy vocal over an almost percussive bass line. The dum 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 dum. So you know something is coming. This is intense already. Stunning voice.
Leaves to the flames, nothing is safe. Wish you
Now, I saw something about there being shaky camera work. I'm guessing that was it. It's easy to compare that to France's Voila from a few years ago, which should have won, by the way. But I think this is a very different use, considering the context of this being Ukraine. I'll put the lyrics on the screen here. Now, during that shaky camera work, I embroider new destiny for loved ones. So the shaky camera work and the red and black, it's a visual representation of being on the ground in Ukraine right now. The black and red could be like the power cuts that they're always having, and the shaky camera work is their ground, because their whole ground is shaking right now. Their whole world is shaking right now in this catastrophic time. But here she is, Leléka, regardless of all that, is at the centre, wearing white, and she's saying, I'm here, I want to give hope to a new destiny. So I wouldn't say it's copycat of Voila, because I think it has a different meaning in this context. It is a visual representation of the chaos that is happening right now. I like that. See more positive lyrics after the chaos has stopped. And she's going, look, we're still here. No, that was nice. I loved that little yodel. That really stood out to my ears. That little yodel leads us back into that chaos of the red and black again. So again, it's that attention to detail that really helps tell the story. It's almost like a scream of fear that here it comes again. Here's more of this chaos. Oh, listen to the background as well. I didn't notice that first time round. Musically, I just heard that in my headphones. You've got really distorted drums there. Again, if you subscribe to my channel, you know I love my drums. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I'm only a small channel. those distorted drums sound like explosions. And this is what they hear daily. This is their life. Like, you wouldn't get that same effect with a clean drum. But the distortion on the drums is like... It sounds like bombs being dropped. That's an incredible detail. That's how I'm reading it anyway. I may be wrong, but just because I've heard that in my headphones, that's what it sounds like to me. And it goes again with the theory of this being what the chaos is like at the moment with the power cuts and the red and black and the shaky camera work and everything else. That's an incredible attention to detail, if that's right.
We'll see the trees
Oh, here we go. Let's see if she can do it live. Oh, I like the dandelion growing as well. Something visual to go with this vocal performance. The strings more intense as well. This is a moment. Ah, that's interesting. Wow. I think I just spotted something there. So if we go back to the very end. Here we go here. There. I think she took a breath. I think I might be wrong, but I think for those last two notes she had to take a breath. It was still a moment, don't get me wrong, with the staging, the dandelion growing and the music getting more intense. But I think she took a breath in there. I would have liked another one of those yodels in that part there. I think one of those yodels gives moments like this a really strong character. I can understand not doing the yodel at the end because it's a strong vocal and it wants to end powerfully. But wow, okay. Beautiful vocal. I think the staging will be even better in Vienna. Because I don't really want to criticise the staging at all, really, because Ukraine has plenty of other priorities rather than Eurovision right now. But in Vienna, I think we'll see something bigger, and this song deserves that bigger stage. My God, all you guys do. So I have one worry and one criticism for this song. So my worry is that on Eurovision semi-final 2, both Ukraine and Luxembourg are in the same semi-final, and for the casual listener who will probably only hear these songs once, I think it's easy to compare this with Eva Maria's Mother Nature, and Luxembourg will perform before Ukraine on the night. So Ridnym might suffer from this opinion of, oh, that sounds like the other one, where the girl had the violin. So that's my slight worry, is that they're quite similar. And my only criticism of the performance was, like I said, on the studio, the notes that were held from start to finish were one breath, and I would love to hear that replicated live. I think there was a breath there near the end, but I think she has the capability because she is so talented. And you guys have been saying she was the strongest vocalist on the night. I think she could do it, and I would love to hear that in one big breath. And I know some of you wanted Jerry to win, and I was looking forward to Monokate. She's an absolute sweetheart, by the way. There's a lovely interview with Monokate on Wee Wee Blogs, which is definitely worth your time, and hopefully we'll see her again in the future. But on the night, Leléka Ridnym is the chosen one. So good luck, Ukraine, in every sense of the word. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'm only a small channel, so I really appreciate it. And I hope I bring something a little bit different to your Eurovision feed. And I'll see you in the next one.